right, you guys ready? This is Street Therapy featuring Mr. Chris Jackson coming to you live from KUAW Radio. And now let the show begin.
All right, thank you, Mr. Parker. Yes, as he just said, this is Chris Jackson with Street Therapy KC in Kansas City, Missouri. Sitting here with KUAW Radio live, man. We back in effect. I say that, man. It's clear. But we are back in effect. I got my man Jesse, Jesse Vassie. He is back with us again. No stranger to the platform. Definitely not his first, won't be his last time. So Jesse, for those who don't know who you are, just give us a little brief background of who you are, my man.
All right, my name is Jesse V. I'm an artist out of Kansas City, Missouri. I'm currently in Texas right now, Houston, Texas, that is. I actually just dropped an EP called Neighborhood Message. It's a lot. I got four tracks on the EP. I'm an artist, I'm a preacher, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son. I'm actually anything according to the Holy Spirit. So that's who I am, man. I'm just really kind of like an activist for the community. That's basically what I am. I'm a young man teaching to the young youth. That's what my target is.
Man, that's beautiful, Jesse. That's beautiful, man. For folks that don't that know you, that Jesse is from that life. He's definitely changed his life around. He's done some amazing, tremendous things, and some of them I've gotten to be a part of, and I think that was really dope, you know. And Jesse definitely puts on. I want to say Steve Harvey's thing, Hope for the Hood, but but Jesse definitely puts on things for neighborhoods and communities, bringing it seems like bringing the churches and the communities together, culture and things like that. So the reason why we have Jesse on today is to talk about some things that he got coming up. Also to talk about his LP that he just dropped. That he's talking about just a little bit about your music you got dropping, Jesse.
Well, the music I just dropped, if you are a current listener, the previous albums I was speaking about how I was incarcerated and my mind has changed while incarceration. But this new album was a message to show that us brothers can come from where I'm from and change their perception and mind state and step and keep going forward, no matter how hard it is. That's what this album is about. Showing one of the songs is called Grown Man. It's called Grown Man. It go, my new perception makes me a grown man. My perception changed, and that's what this whole little EP or LP or album or whatever anybody want to call it. This it's about changing your perception. That's the message in this EP. Your message has to change. Your perception has to change in order for life to get greater. You have to continue to preset different type of concepts as you grow. That's what this message is saying, that we can't stay the same. If you're gonna stay the same, you will never grow. If
Right.
a seed stay the seed, it will never become a plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. My mind changed. I was talking about, and I was sitting down. It took me a while to do this EP, man, because I always wanted people to know that I'm from the streets. I did criminal activity, and I changed my mindset. And I always wanted people to know that, to see that we as young black males, that's basically what I'm speaking to, us black males, the urban community,
Yeah.
because we're so lost. We don't have nobody to guide us. We don't have nobody to give us the information. The ones that are in poverty, that's what I can say, and the ones that are calling leaders. These are the ones teaching them the criminal activity.
Mm.
So I changed my message in this new EP. I changed it to let them know that we can still be fly and not to have to be of the criminal activity. We can still be looking good. We can still be tough and don't
Yeah.
have to have a persona of being tough. You can still be a gangster. What I'm saying, you
Mhm.
can still have a gangster's mentality and
Mm.
still, well, I'm gonna say this. You can still have a respect as a gangster,
Mhm.
respect as a gangster and still be cool, not doing criminal activities.
He said you can still have some rough edges.
Yeah, yeah. You can still
Sam,
look like
Sam saved to the bone, but I still got some jagged edges.
yeah, right.
I'm smooth, but I'm still a little rough around the edges too. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think that's important. I'm really think I'm glad you said that, man, because a lot of times when people think that when they in Christ and things like that, it's like, well, man, maybe I'm soft, man. Christians,
yeah,
I gotta dumb myself down, man, just to be a Christian, whatever the case. I gotta take a lot of, turn the other cheek and get smacked in the face 10 times and walk away and be the better man or whatever the case. Yeah, being in Christ does allow you to take a lot more than you would normally take. A lot of stuff you blow off, but for the most part, you still you.
yeah, yeah.
You
Still
still
you.
the stuff that ticks you off, the stuff that gets under your skin, still gets under your skin. You know what I'm saying? The stuff the things that bother you still bother you, man, and that's just a part of being you as a man, as a male. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You still have that instinct. Stop. You still have that instinct. You still have that natural proclivity to want to react to certain things, whatever case. But it is, you know, we know now that we have to take things in Christ, and we got to weigh them. We got to weigh them out a lot more than we would have, as opposed to just boom reacting.
Right. Right.
So it sounds like that just kind of a brief summary of your song on manhood would probably touch a little bit of that.
Yeah, and I got a song called A Male too. It's called A Male.
Amen.
And it says, what is a male to do in this world full of sin? Opportunities and oppositions, looking forward to do right, but wrong is so near. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Teaching, coming up as a child, you always say you want to do the right things. You ask a child now, and they say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a police officer, I want to be this. Because that's right, that's what's in the mindset. But what's being presented to them, the
Yeah.
presentation that's in their face, is
Yeah.
telling them they can't be that because the drug dealers is in the neighborhood, the whores is in the neighborhood. Excuse my French, but you got all of this stuff that's around them. You know what I'm saying? And being
Yeah.
a male period, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, orange, brown. Being a male period, you have to be a leader. So that's what males were made for. But in this world society, we got males letting women take care of them. We got males misusing the women. All kind of things going on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And with these presentations that's presented to the children, that's how we getting lost. We
Yeah.
getting lost.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said that, man. That about the whole male. Sorry about that.
Oh, you okay? You okay? I got children.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Walker turned around like, wait a minute, I don't hear nothing. Yeah, man. No, here recently, man, not too long ago, I've been noticing a lot of these videos, man. You see these brothers really abusing these women, man.
Yeah.
A couple of restaurants, man, where brothers, just open hand or closed fist, just knocking these ladies, man. And unfortunately, a lot of the brothers and people that stand around, either they videotape it or they're like, nah, don't, nah, we're not gonna, nah, don't do that, man, don't do that. It's like, nah, bro, listen, we can't do that, man.
Nah, that's not. And that's because of the presentation of this world.
Hmm.
Like I teach my son, I got two boys and two girls. I
Yeah.
teach my boys. I don't care what this my daughters do to you. If you raise your hand at my daughter, I teach my boys that you
Yeah.
raise your hand at my daughter,
Yeah.
there's going to be consequences
Yeah.
and repercussions. Because
Yeah.
no man should hit a woman
Yeah.
at all. We have
Yeah.
strength. That's what I was saying. When you become a male, that you automatically have the power. You automatically have strength. Because you're a male. You
Yeah.
built to work. You built to strive. You built to gain. You built to have something to take care of. That's what a male is
So what
for.
do they say? What do you say when they say, but Dad, she hit me first.
Oh man, that kills me, man. That kills me. I say,
But
so if
Dad,
she took
Dad,
off the booty,
But Dad, she yelled at me. But
my,
Dad,
my,
but Dad, she all over my face.
my youngest son, that's his favorite line. She hit me first. She hit me first. And
Yeah.
I'm like, son, you got to understand the morals of a man. This is what I talk to my 3-year-old like this.
Yeah.
The morals of a man is to respect the woman, no
Yeah.
matter how they present themselves to you. You respect the beauty of God. And
Yeah.
that's how I was taught. I coming up, my dad always told us, I got one sister, and it was
Yeah.
4 boys.
Mm.
4 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
And he told us, y'all ever put your hands on my daughter.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it was just to show us the masculinity in a man.
Yeah.
Man has a masculinity that is different, way different from a woman. A woman can work out for years, and a
Mm.
man can work out 1 month and
Yeah.
still be stronger than that woman.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's listen. That's a whole nother conversation, man. I mean, just to be honest, we see a lot of these, Olympics, man. They're being sued over some of this stuff, man, by these men that are, that is transgender or whatnot, but by these men that are actually, going to go into these different women Olympics and outperforming these ladies because genetically you're stronger than her. So for you to run it up like that, then you got an unfair advantage just off the rip.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's just bananas, man.
But we
You
don't
know.
have nobody teaching these males that when you in the hood, I don't know, CJ, where you was raised at. I know you was raised in Kansas City, Missouri, or whatever, but
Yeah,
I'm straight from 43rd Hundred,
I'm
where it
33rd.
wasn't nothing but drugs, prostitution, a church, a gas station, and a car wash. And
Nah,
all these, everything is doing illegal things but the church. And sometimes the church is doing the illegal.
nah. Hey,
I'm
hey,
just
man.
being honest,
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
the the counseling that the youth get from these older ones is a distraction. Yeah, it's a distraction, man. And that's really what this EP is for us young men. The young man, we don't have no that, like I said, that song of Mel said, what is a male to do in this world full of sin? Opportunities and oppositions. Looking forward to do right, but wrong is so near. Plus no knowledgeable gangsters that are really left here. Nobody knowledgeable that's teaching these young people to do something right. It's a few, me, you, and probably a handful. You know what I'm saying? It's a handful, but I wanted to target the males right quick because we got a lot of and if we get these males, we get the women because the woman gonna follow wherever the man go. That's just it. Don't matter how independent INDEPENDET. No matter how independent they say they are, they gonna still follow a man. You know what I'm saying? So, but if we get these men, we train up the men in a way that they supposed to be, then the world will change. Because the man is supposed to lead. We train and give the messages to the man, keep pouring it into the men. Not saying women is lesser than a man. I'm just saying that the masculinity of a man is to lead. That's us. We are supposed to have a strength. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to be the ones that is protecting and comforting the women and the youth to keep them to where, just like a lot of people didn't agree with Huey P. Newton. Hold on, son, I'm doing something. Okay. Okay.
listen, I know. yeah,
Yeah, that's the
that's
beauty of live radio.
yay. Hey, listen. I don't know if
I
you. I
told
don't
you
know
I
if you.
got tuned too.
Listen. I don't know if you know. Listen. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to cover my mouth while you on mute, so you don't see my mouth moving. you know, Hey man, hey, that's what it is, man.
Man,
That's man, that's fatherhood, man.
yeah, for real.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's funny that this is happening right now, but I was thinking the other day that when I was growing up, man, I can count on all my friends, man, one hand. But all the guys that I grew up with, man, I can count. I said, boom, his dad wasn't there, his dad wasn't there, his dad wasn't there, my father wasn't there, his uncles was there. But now when I look at things right now, man, most of my buddies right now are in their kids' life, man. And that is the crazy. Hey, bro, I was thinking that was the craziest thing. Man, I had just, God bless my partner, man. He passed away from COVID-19 a couple of years ago, man. But he was there to see his son born and everything, and spent all that time up until his son was a couple of years old. But and I started looking at him like, man, all these brothers, it's crazy because you don't see the slow progression. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because in your mind, your perception is, the men are not in the house, whatever the case. But when you begin to really look at it, like, well, wait a minute, he at home, he at home, he at home. His kid is there, his kids, his kids is there.
yeah,
And it just goes back to your male to man conversation, man. That is so true because I did grow up like that, man. I did grow up in the hood. I mean, I wasn't necessarily a street cat, but I mean, we ran the streets just doing dumb stuff. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But just to go past that and go beyond that and to learn from some of the mistakes that other people made, I think that's really been my biggest thing, man, is to really look at what these other guys are doing. Is like, yo, that's not for me. You
right.
know, I ain't built like that, man. And it ain't that I wouldn't be able to feel myself. It's like, listen, I ain't trying to get locked up forever.
I know that.
You know what I'm
But
saying? I'm not trying to get locked up forever, man. Kids or no kids, I kind of like your freedom, man.
yeah, nah,
So
you
tell us,
man,
so
you
tell us,
just.
tell us a little bit more about your album, man. What are some of the other tracks?
Oh, well, I got a song called "A Male," a song called "Grown Man," and I got a song called "Covered," and it's another one on there. I gotta look, but the
Yeah,
song "Covered" is with. Oh yeah, and it's called "Ready to Ride."
Ready to Ride.
That's yeah, that's a hard one too. I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk about that one. Ready to Ride. I got
yeah.
two Texas artists on a couple tracks, but Ready to Ride. I got this lady that we brought, that Miss Queen Free. We brought her down there for
Uh
the
huh.
event. She's
Yeah.
on the Ready to Ride.
Okay.
And that song is basically explaining, are you ready to deny all the things that is of this world? It's say, are you ready to ride? Put all emotions aside and get down with the spiritual side. Are you ready to ride? This mob, we down with God. Anything go against must die. You know what I'm saying? Anything that is of this flesh,
Yeah.
everything that has fleshful desires. Are you ready to ride for God and deny these things that you see every day?
Yeah.
That's what the song is explaining. It's saying that every emotional feeling you have to deny it.
Yeah.
You have to deny it in order to ride for the spirit.
Mm,
These are things people need to ask themselves before they say they saved. These are
mm.
questions that I had to ask myself. Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to give these guys a different presentation that they see you as soft, but you really ain't soft?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people think you soft. What do you think? People think when you become saved, you become soft.
Yeah. I wonder if
You
you
know,
record this thing.
yeah, and that's just that right there. That's soft and thinking people soft, man. I'm saved. I'm far from soft. I'm saved.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of time, man, if somebody says that because folks are saved or Christians, man, I think the two misconceptions are they soft, you're a Christian, you're saved, whatever, or you're perfect.
Mm,
Oh, they act like they got everything together, man. They act like they perfect, man. You ain't never done that. You ain't that. Ain't nobody say all that, man.
right,
All I'm simply saying is, say we ain't soft, we ain't perfect, but we forgiven. And I think
right,
and I think that's the thing, Jesse, man, is the fact that it's how you look at stuff, though, man. Even in my faith walk, man, this is how I perceive things. I just you have to weigh it out, man. You weigh it against Christ, and what I mean by that is, it's like, well, I can do this, or I know to do this. You know what I'm saying? So you have to weigh that thing, man, as opposed to just jumping and doing whatever you want to do, because obviously you know that your body is not your own. You bought with a price.
Yeah. I got
You
a
bought with a
question
price,
too.
so you can't do what you want to do.
Exactly. There's nothing you can do. You can't do that nowhere you go. Living life period, you can't do nothing you want to do. So you might as well surrender to God. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah,
rules and regulations everywhere you go. So you might as well surrender to God.
yeah,
Hey, but I
yeah,
wanted to ask you a question though, CJ. I wanted
yeah,
to ask you, how did you say you had that willpower to be like, nah, I ain't doing that as a youth? As a
yeah,
youth, you took, man, it was hard as a youth for me to be like, because if my friend was doing that, they'd be like, man, you ain't gonna do it, you soft boy. What? I'm like, I'm down, I'm down. How did
yeah.
you have that willpower?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. When I was when I was when I was younger, they always called me Little Chris. And it's funny because the movie Boys in the Hood, Little Chris was the little dude. I think Little Chris in the wheelchair or something. But,
Yeah, he
Little
was a
Chris.
little dude in the wheelchair, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I wasn't in the wheelchair, thank God. But you know what? I'm be honest with you, bro. The crazy part is they would always tell me to go home.
Oh,
And it would be the older guys I want to hang out with, man. And a lot of times I did, keep it 100, man. But my house, my grandmother's house on the neighborhood was the live house. You're on
wow.
the porch. You're on the porch all night. You're just sitting there. You just sitting there hanging out with the older guys, just kind of seeing what's going on. So my grandma's house was a house that folks come through, hang out, whatever the case, with my uncles or whatever. But even when I was out with, like with the homies, whatever the case, oh man, send little Chris home, man. Go on home, man. Boy, your mama kill us, man.
But that's good though, man.
It
That
was, and it's funny because when I did get sent home, when they did drop me off on Dope Boys Rise, whatever, when they did drop me off at the crib, whatever the case, uh, I got a chance to be upset because I wanted to hang out with the older guys, but then I got a chance to wake up the next day and be like, oh man, they got into a whole bunch of nonsense, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or they got into a shootout, they got locked up, or they had a car wreck, or they got a crash, they got too drunk, they got too high, they got this. You know what I'm saying? So as a young man, I got a chance to see like, whoa, maybe it was a good thing I didn't go. And so
yeah,
it just made me think about, growing up is like, you know what, that's how I began to weigh things, man, because I saw what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, yeah, and then, you know, I had I had family members, man, that were in church, and that was the extent of it. It's in church.
yeah,
I had uncles, man, that was in church, and they would hang out with certain ladies of the night and certain things, man, that I began to look at, and for me, I was like, I know I'm not a Christian, and I wasn't at that point, but for me, I was like, I know I'm not Christian. I don't even understand who Christ is. I don't even know who he is. Ain't nobody presented him to me. But but I said, I don't know, at a young age, man, I said, whatever God is, whatever Christ is or Jesus is, I know it can't look like what they doing.
ooh,
You know what
wow.
I'm saying? It can't look
Yeah,
like what they doing. And not to judge them on what they were doing, but it's like whatever this God Jesus is, it can't look like that. Because
mm,
if that looks like this, then what's the difference? There is no
wow,
difference. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? If
Yeah,
you going to church, you doing this and this and this and this and this, but yet there's nothing. It's empty. There's nothing there. I'm like, that's a waste of time.
mm,
And I
wow.
would see, and I would just see people, man. They would do the church thing. They would, get dressed and get all dressed up and look good or whatever case, and go to church and everything, and come to the church late and come in and do this whatever case, and then they come out and leave and they do the same thing. And I'm like, why even waste your time?
Mm.
It's like you ain't doing God no favor just to be there, man. And straight up,
No,
and
don't
it's
need
and it's
no.
and it's you ain't doing God, bro. You ain't doing God no, and it's really just to soothe you. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I'll go ahead and it's Easter. I'll go ahead and go to Easter to make Mama happy. I'll go Mother's Day to make Mama happy. I'm going, but it's like there was nothing there, and I'm like, whatever that is, I don't. That can't be it, man.
Mm.
That can't be it. And I don't want that. For
Wow.
me, it's got to be real. It's got to mean something to
Yeah.
me. It's got it's if God comes into you, transforms you from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? Then there's something that's changed. There's something that's changed on the inside. He don't just change the outside, then work in. He works inside out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a heart thing and it's for me, it's a mind thing. So when I saw that, I was, hold on, buddy. Okay. When I saw that, I was like, I don't want that.
Mm.
And for me, I hope you understand what I'm saying. But for me, it just I've always kind of gravitated to like real honesty, man.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Real honesty, and they say real recognize real or whatever the case. But a lot of time, bro, who people, man. When you run across people, like, yeah, nah, nah. You're like,
That ain't me.
nah, they kind of foolish. I see it, but they like, nah, man, they kind of foolish. It's funny because I ran into somebody the other day, and he had like a shirt that was God, it was some religious type shirt. So I was like, all right, man. So I began to talk to him, and I found out that he knew a family member of mine. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so we began to talk, whatever case. But I seen the God on his shirt, and I heard the conversation that he was talking. But in my spirit, I was like, I don't know, man. There's something there. And so I made a phone call to one of the family members, and they was like, I'm like, yeah, he's straight, but yeah, he cool, but yeah,
Yeah, you got that
because
up.
it's like I see what I see, but there's something else there, man, that I'm feeling,
Mm.
but that's my whole thing, man. It is when that's to answer your question. That's really how I got over it, man. Was the fact that I saw what I saw at a young age. I just knew that I didn't want that, man. You know,
Man, mine was just opposite.
yeah,
Man, my dad's a pastor. He been a
yeah,
pastor
oh,
since I was young. So I was getting pulled to church Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, right every week. Sometimes we gotta go Tuesday, Thursday. So with me seeing that, I was like, man, oh, man, this can't be it. Because these people, they just it's like they in a day. So that's what made me want to go out to the streets. Because my dad used to, but his brothers wasn't a part of the church. It was just him. My dad was him and his older sister, his sister Mary. They were
yeah,
really into the church. They were both pastors, and it was, I think it was 9 of them, and the rest of his siblings was in the world. So while he was trying to teach us the church, his brothers was teaching us how to do this, do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
So we would be like, well, it's cool to hang with Uncle Willie. Daddy always trying to get me to do this. I'm going over here with Uncle Willie. So, so
yeah,
our Uncle Ben. And that's how I got in the streets. I used to look at, because we stayed in the church ever since I was 6 years old. We lived at church.
yeah.
Man, we would go to lock-ins. Bro, oh my God. Talking about a musical lasting for 24 hours. Lord,
Yeah,
bro. And
yeah,
that's what really made me like, man, that's how I got in trouble, because I thought that this wasn't it, but that was it. My dad was showing me, hey, this is how you gonna change the world. Because I used to say that as a child. Man, I used to say I want to be a cop. I want to be a police officer. I want to change the world. I want to be the police. Then all of a sudden I started hating the cops and not
yeah,
wanting to be part of, but it was
yeah,
all because of my actions. But I always wanted to be a person to help others to get to where they need to be. That's
yeah,
always been me. I ain't never been a person to be selfish. I always wanted to make it to where if I make it and you know me, we all make it. We
yeah,
all make it.
yeah.
Yeah. But Chris, you
Yeah,
gotta
and
you gotta
I think what it is was that you see my son. Well, and I think what it is too, man, is you know, I've I've had sometimes I've had the ability to sit back and really kind of look at certain things, man. And before I jumped into them, thank God for that foresight, I guess. But just to really sit back and kind of weigh things out, you know what I'm saying, and see how they play out. And that's what goes back to what I talked about the male instinct. A lot of times, sometimes, we get people that are quick tempered. They just go, go, go. And I've always kind of been the one to kind of sit back and be like, all right, let's watch this thing play out, man. Like my partner's like we can be at like a nightclub, whatever the case, and somebody start arguing. I'll be like, well, time to go.
Straight up.
Then my partner be like, soon as they hear somebody arguing, they be like, yeah, Chris ready to go. Yeah, man, let's go. Listen, I
Straight
kind of
up.
like I kind of like my life. Listen, and the reason why I say that, bro, is because when I grew up, man, you did good if you lived past 18.
Boy, tell me about it.
You did
Bro,
good if you lived good if you was past 18, 16.
I got shot in the face when I was 17. I was
See,
supposed to die, be dead. That's how I
yeah,
lost my eye. I was shot in the face with a 12 gauge at the age of 17. And they
yeah,
told me that just what you said. They said you gonna be blessed to make it. Cause most of you guys don't. They said talking about us black men. This is what the doctor told me. Most of you
yeah.
guys don't make it after 18. He said, you blessed. You're blessed. I was like, wow, but you right, bro.
You
You
know,
right.
man, and that's sad. That's
Yeah.
sad because I was looking at the dynamics one day. I was looking through, I don't know if it was the Call paper or the Kansas City Star, and they were talking about the worst neighborhoods as far as demographics, the zip code. And I lived in 64128, and 64128 was one of those zip codes.
Wow.
And then you sit there and you wonder, man. But then you look around in the zip code. You say, okay, well, if this is the worst zip code, all right. So what makes it the worst zip code? You say, okay, but that's not even the thing, though. It ain't even about the brothers that's in the hood in the streets, man. It's about, first off, there's a food desert. The grocery stores are just, you got a few of them there. But then, man, bro, listen, I went through one of the neighborhoods in the city, and I drove about maybe 2 miles, maybe longer than that, and I just counted all the fast food restaurants, man, and what they had to offer, and everything was grease, fried
Wow.
fish, there's fried fish, fried chicken, fried fish, fried chicken, KFC, doop 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 doop. But then I went out to like some of the other neighborhoods, man. I went for about 2 mile radius, and it was Whole Foods, and it was fruit and smoothie, and it was this and this, and it was juice this. That's why when I'm down in the city, man, I swing by Ruby Jeans. Shout out to Ruby Jeans, man. Got good juice and good oatmeal. but
Shout out Ruby.
Yeah, for sure, Chris Good, man. But yeah, I go through there, man, and because I think that's good. He's really been doing a whole lot with that with the juicery over there. But you sit there and you look and you like, man, there you are what you eat.
Man,
So
and have you
so
seen that movie? Not to cut you off.
are you
Have
good?
you seen that movie, They Clone Tyrone?
I know you was about to say that,
Bro, because
and I
look,
know
and
and I
this
and I
what
know
made
what you're about to say. I think. Go ahead.
man, they was showing how everything, like you were saying, in the urban areas is to keep us in the urban area. Keep our bodies from progressing, keep our because if like you said, if you can constantly to eat grease food, that affects your brain. It ain't no nutrition's going to the brain, so you can't think right. You
Yeah.
constantly thinking of crazy stuff because this grease is on your brain.
Oh man.
Wow,
Yeah.
bro, you own it.
Man, listen, man, listen. I told two or three people about that movie. I said, man, y'all need to check that movie out. They're like, man,
Yeah,
I don't want to check it out, man, because of subtitles. I said, I didn't either. They clone,
me.
they, they clone Tyrone. Like, man, nobody want to watch that. But when you watch, man, well, you've seen the movie, so I can give it away. Whoever see it, y'all can see it, whatever the case. But man, the fact that when the brother went down there and they found out Jamie Foxx was messing with that powder, man, and he went to the
Yeah,
restaurant. He was sitting there at the restaurant. He was like,
He was
I
like,
ain't, he
"Where's the
said,
chicken?"
I ain't never seen this brother laugh. He's like, wait a minute, it's in the chicken.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He started throwing away the chicken, like, yo, man, it's in the chicken, man. And bro, in the fact that they went to the club, man, and they're sitting there, and you can see the vibrations from the music, from the DJ, turn the vibration up a certain level in the music, and send out the frequency, man, to just hypnotize those folk, man. But it's we studied, man. We've been studied.
that's that's what my song "Are You Ready to Ride" is about.
Yeah,
Are you ready to ride against all of these things that
yeah.
is trying? Because I don't eat greasy food no more. Since I seen
No,
that movie, bro, my mind frame has changed. Not only just that, before that, that just was revelations given to me.
yeah.
I had caught cancer 3 or 4 years ago,
Mm,
sarcoma cancer. And they
mm,
said it's clear. I had my surgeries and things of that nature and everything
yeah,
clear. But I start seeing things like that movie when they start doing these surgeries on me. Because I start seeing how they give you this medicine not to heal you, to cope you until you die. And I
yeah,
was like, bro, I told they was like, you want to go through radiation? You want to? I don't want to do none of that.
yeah,
I start seeing how a person would come into that doctor's office, walking healthy,
yeah,
looking good. 3 weeks
yeah,
later, they ready to die because of the medicines they was giving them, the information they gave them to
yeah,
try to help them keep it ain't correct. The fruit diets, vegetable diets don't be correct. That's what made me change when I start catching this cancer stuff and I start seeing things for what it is, bro. For
yeah.
what it is.
In a minute, in a minute. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well said, man. And that's really even a journey that I have to take myself, man. Just just the whole the food situation, man, and even that, like I said, when I lost my mom, even before that, man, I was off, what I'm saying. But when mom's passed away, I was just like, I was really off. Then my homeboy passed away right after she did,
Wow.
and then I was really like, okay, all right, man, this is a lot. To a point, man, where I reached out to a therapist, like, yo, I need somebody to talk to get this up off my head, man. Because I said, this here, I prayed and prayed and prayed and talked to God and things like that, but I need to talk to somebody.
Straight up,
Because
straight up.
and I ain't afraid to say, yeah, I need to talk to somebody, man. And I did. Thank God for the brothers that did, man. Cecil Watry, man. Thank God for you, brother. But and just been able to talk to them to really sort through some stuff. And really, to be honest with you, man, it wasn't really like, so how you feeling today? So how is everything today? How are you processing your feelings? Are you okay today?
Right.
What are you feeling today? Here's my pen and pad. It was it was
What were
really,
your
bro.
thoughts at this time?
Yeah, it was really, man. Like, man, hey, let's go have a cup of coffee. Cool, I'll meet you up at the spot. You know what I'm saying? We sitting there having coffee. We sitting there having coffee, man. We writing stuff down. He writing stuff down. We sitting back, just going back. In a minute, wait a minute. We sitting back, man, going back and forth. Yeah, yeah, going back and forth, man, just trying to figure it out or whatever the case. And I think that's important to do, man. I think as no, I don't think I know as men we have a harder time processing our feelings and our emotions because a lot of times the whole you talked about the whole soft thing and things like that, but when you process your feelings and your emotions, man, that ain't soft, it ain't feminine, it ain't weak, it ain't nothing like that. It's literally, man.
Amen.
That's why I call this show street therapy, man. Because a lot of the guys from the streets, we don't seek therapy, and we need to, and I think that's really important, man. That's something that we need to normalize in our communities.
Right. Yes. And
Mhm.
people think that you know, to be honest, people think counseling is for people that's going crazy or
Crazy,
therapy. Yeah, and it ain't. It's to evaluate your thoughts. That's
yeah,
all it is for, to
yeah,
evaluate your thoughts.
yeah.
And people don't know it, but education is counseling. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So if you neglecting counseling, you ain't neglecting education,
Yeah,
information,
yeah,
all that stuff. So therapy is good, bro. You know,
Yeah.
like what we doing now, like you said, it wasn't, hey, did write your thoughts down. Let me get to your thoughts real quick. It was, hey, bro, what's went on your mind? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People don't know that though. They think you're gonna go in there and it's a little session like AA meetings. I used to go to AA meetings because I used to sell drugs. I got caught up for selling drugs and stuff, and I
Yeah.
got sentenced to do AA meeting. But when we go in the AA meeting, that's how it was. Brother Vassy, how you doing? We want to know what was your week. Let me see how your week was. All right, class, tell Mr. Vassy everything's going to be all right. And
Yeah.
that's what scares people because you're going in there and it ain't helping.
Yeah.
But if we have somebody to do like you were saying, hey, let's go get a coffee. Let's go get some coffee or whatever you do. You
Because
want to go
because of that, because at that point it's not weird.
exactly.
It ain't weird. Man, I ain't
Yeah.
trying to go over there and sit next to you and you got a pen, a pad, and paper, and I feel like you judging me off everything I say. Man, come on, man. Get out of here with that. And I know for a fact that you tripping too, man. Nah. And I think, and I haven't seen this yet, man, but Kirk Franklin's got this documentary, man, that I need to look at. It talks about his life, man, between his life and now he's kind of working on a relationship with his son, but he's going back to this documentary talking about how his father and his mom and things like that was. But I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this documentary, man. So I really want to dig into that. And I think
What's the
Jesse,
name of it?
uh,
What's the name of it?
Kurt Franklin documentary. I don't know. I think so.
I'm gonna
I
check
think
it out. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna
yeah.
look
Look,
it up.
man. Hey, man. Check it out. I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna have some other brothers look at it too, man, and hopefully, maybe we'll give it a week or two, maybe a couple of weeks, but see how many people look at it, man. See if you can get some people to look at it and see and get some feedback, and
Okay.
maybe we can jump on the Zoom, man, and talk about this thing. And
Okay.
I'm being serious, Jesse, because I think we need to normalize it. We need to have more of these conversations, man,
All right.
because I truly believe, and I know that you say king a lot, which is cool. I don't. I'm like, what's up, bro? But I understand it. But my thing is, man, I think what it is God is getting his people together, man,
Yeah.
and he's really working on the men because the men are leaders of the household, and I think the men also are the most stubborn.
Yeah.
So the most hard headed, and I don't need no help, man. Ain't nobody, man. Ain't nothing wrong with me, man. Oh, man, that's all of y'all.
Yeah. Nah, that's for real. You right.
But I see but what I'm saying is if we can normalize that, man, and if we can start up maybe just that conversation. I know we talked about doing a whole podcast through the different cities or whatever the case, just really normalizing that conversation against brothers, man. Who knows? We may have like 30 brothers on a Zoom call one day, man.
Yeah.
Just talking about, what I'm saying. Hey, man, I checked this out the other day, man. What you think about this? Or I read this little piece of a book, man. What you think about this? And I think that's important because it's like you talked about information, man. It's the information that it's things that you don't know that you might need to know, you know
Exactly.
and even if it is something that's a documentary or I checked out this thing in the scripture, whatever the case, man, or whatever. But just certain little things that we look at and we're able to kind of bounce off of each other, man. I think that builds a brotherhood, man.
Yeah. To be informed is to
Yeah,
be saved. To
right.
be informed is to be saved. What I'm
Yeah,
saying is information saves you from action and consequence
hmm
consequences.
yeah,
To be informed is to be saved. If
yeah,
you are informed about it, you can be saved from it.
yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and I'll say this here real quick, and I know he'll shut us off here in a minute. Well, he on the phone. He hear me anyway. But okay, buddy. Okay. But I believe, man, that like I said, the time that we're in right now, it's critical because we do have you look at the things that talks about toxic masculinity and this and this and this and this. I think you know we know that the enemy's busy, man. We
Amen.
know we know that he know that this time is winding up. And he gonna do what he gotta do to do whatever he had to do, and for us, that understand that and know that, um, just have to build a fortress around that. Because and I say that because you talk about, people talk about the watchman on the wall and on the wall, whatever case, which is fine. But a lot of time, man, some of the watchmen on the wall, they get hit with a few pellets too, man, because they're up on the wall. But
Exactly.
if you have that strong fortress around you, like, say, hey, tap into somebody or shoot somebody a text message like, yo, man, I'm going through. Man. Or other than saying, oh, I'll pray for you, be like, hey, man, what's happening? Let's talk about it. Because a lot of men be like, you good? Yeah, I'm cool. Nah, you ain't cool, bro. I had a friend of mine call me, man, and he called me, and I could tell that something was going on with him. This is some time ago, and I told the brother, I said, he called me. He said, man, I'll call you back. I said, okay, and I could tell in his voice, man, something was a little off, man. So I said,
Straight.
I'm gonna give him 5 minutes to call me back, and I gave him 6 minutes, and I called him back. Yeah, I gave him 6 minutes. I give you one extra minute. So I gave him I gave him 6 minutes, man. Then I called him back and I said, man, what's going on? He said, oh man. Then he began to unload on me. I said, yeah, I knew something was going on. But had I just left it alone and didn't call him back, he would have had to deal with and process that all stuff. And all I did was just had a conversation with the brother. I
Bro.
had I've known this guy almost my whole life, man. And that's what I mean by just building that camaraderie, that brotherhood, because we do go through things, man. A lot of times, he's like, man, I'm cool, but a lot of times we're not, so
Hey, I
yeah,
was thinking because you said we was gonna do this podcast a long time ago, bro. Is you know how you got the street therapy? We can call it man therapy session on street therapy. Any brother that want to jump on there, boom, 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 boom. We can send it through the messages that I be sending group message to. Anybody in that message want to jump on whenever you
yeah.
go want that to happen, we can do it. It can be all
That's
yours, bro. Just follow your lead.
no, man, no, man. Listen, we work together on some stuff, man, and it's both of us, man. That's good. That's a good idea because a lot of times, man, when you're able to add people to that conversation, you may not know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But hell, bro, it was going, and it may end up being 3 or 4 people, 4 or 5 people. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
It up to
say, yo,
15.
man, this is good. Let me send this to boom, send them the link, send them the link, send them the link. Next thing you know, you send a link out to 50 folks, man. We got a whole room full of people, man.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
just talking about just talking. That's
Yeah. Just really sharpening each other and
that's it.
pouring out. Yeah,
That's
and
it.
pouring out. Yeah.
It ain't weird.
Wow.
Ain't nothing weird about it. It's a conversation. It's just me
Man.
sitting there like, yo, man, check this out, bro. The other day, man, I went down to the store, man. Me and wifey wasn't politicking the right way. You know what I'm saying? She was. Then I went to hold on. Then I went to the store, man. Then you got the little lady that was giving me the eye, but I walked away like, you know what I'm saying? No, not today. Not today. Not today. Not today. I went to the gym, man. I was hitting the weights, man, and whatever the case, man. You walk through, everybody got the thing. I just put my bandana over my face, man, and hit my weights. You know what I mean? But or just hey, man, I went down to the store, man. Instead of me getting that little grilled chicken sandwich, man, I went out and got 3 double cheeseburgers, 2 fries, and 2 soda pops, man. And
Right.
last for that night, man, I had that double cheesecake, man. Hey, brother, can you pray for me, man? And have me figure this thing out. All right, cool, bro. Hey, cut it off, man. We need we
Even if
need you
you ain't
we need you
saved,
to live, huh?
even if you don't even have a relationship with God or anything, if you just want to hop on, that's what I was thinking. You want to
That's it.
hop on.
Yeah,
It's I know a lot of brothers that would do it, man. But
bro,
this
Jesse,
right here, you know why
that's what.
I'll be asking for interviews all the time, big bro?
Yeah,
This is how I get my therapy session.
yeah.
I don't get to vent and talk to people about the situations and stuff that I'm
Yeah.
creating or things of that. This how I pour out
Come
my
on,
inner.
man. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Me and
Man,
my
that's
wife, we converse, but we try to converse about things that's gonna
yeah,
sharpen up me and her relationship. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It ain't too much about the music. It ain't too much about how I
yeah,
feel about society and things of that
yeah,
nature. You know what I'm
yeah. Nah, man, I wondered. I'm like, man, Jesse want to interview again. What do you got going on now?
saying?
And
Now
I'm
this
like,
how
man, I'm like,
my
dang, Jesse,
therapy.
what you got going on now?
Nah, you be giving me therapy, bro. You my counselor. You like
Man,
a counselor to me, bro. That's for real, man. This is how I get to pour out how I feel about society besides music. And I got
I respect that, man, and I'm honored that you would even consider that, man, because that means a lot to me because I do, man. Listen, bro, a lot of times I try to weigh out everything I say, and before I say it, man, I try to really think about it because I know when it comes out of my mouth, I can't get that back,
wow.
and whether I can hold on, and whether stop, and whether I'm saying something to you in a joking manner, but then you be on a serious vibe. But I'm like, yeah, joking, and I gotta kind of wait it out so I can kind of watch your persona. That's why I like Zoom. I can kind of watch your body language and stuff. Like I can throw this joke. Nah, he look like he's serious today. Let me dial that. Let me toss that joke back, man, and just really be one with him. We can joke another time, but right now, Jesse don't need no jokes. He need the brother to be like, all right, man, I'm listening to you, and that's
Straight up.
100%, man. You know,
Dang.
so no, I appreciate that, man. Same here, man. I just like talking to people, man.
Straight up.
Especially the
Yeah.
brothers, man. When you Jesse, I need you to help me though. When you come down to the city, man, I've been able to go into these school and man, talk to these young guys, man. So Mr. Walker knows about it because I invited him to. I had a friend of mine that runs a violence prevention program, and he invited me out. So it's on Fridays. I think it's like the first and third Friday. Got one's going to be October the 6th and October the 20th. But I'll send you some dates. So if it goes from October all the way up until like May. So if you're ever in the city, man, come through. Cause talking to these young guys, man, was able to talk to some of these other guys. And I'll say this real quick before Mr. Walker cuts us, man, because we over time. I don't know where he is. I know he can probably hear me. Up there he is. He heard me. So so been able to talk to these young guys, man. But I noticed at the end of the conversation with these young brothers, man, one of the young guy came up to us. You know when you're dealing with other people's kids, you got to watch how you move around or whatever. You can't take pictures. You can't do this. You can't do that. So anyway, one of the young guys came up to it. And he asked about how you deal with frustration. So he talked about how that deal with that. So anyway, we began to talk to him. So I asked him this question. I was looking at it because he had a mask on. I was looking at his eyes and I said, man, I said, brother, so I said, how you feeling, man? I said, are you okay? And he said, I am today. And then for him to tell me I'm okay today, that told me that there's something going on, man, Jumba. I thank God for the opportunity to do that, man. And I really
Bro,
been
we
trying
gonna
to
set
like,
something up. I'm gonna
huh?
set something up. We're gonna set something up for November. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna call you, bro, because I that's what I like doing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be because my
I lost your feed.
I'm gonna let you know the exact date and
Okay,
everything. You let me know if we need to bring music equipment because I want to perform for these children. I want to give them a good little time and everything.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes. So
Okay.
uh, we'll have to see how that will work out. But
Okay. Okay.
it's only 30 minutes because it's around their elective time, so we only got half an hour to really pour into them. So, but my thing is, man, just want to give them something that we got, man. And I've been trying to think of a quote that we can say when we leave, when we leave, like a creed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you leave, like yo, I am this, I am that, I can do this, I can do that. Boom, then that's that. Then they remember that. So every time we see y'all, or every time before we leave, I am this, I am that, I am that boom, and then hit it. And then when they leave and go to the next class, I am this, I am that, I am that, boom. And every time they remember that, man, because because we never know what's going on, man. They can be down at some point, and then they be laying in their bed because they, whatever reason, they pissed off, whatever case, and in their mind, like, I am this, I am that, I can do this, boom. You know what I'm
I am
saying?
strong. I'm courageous. I am brave.
Yeah,
I am who I am.
I am who I am. I even told one of the brothers, write something on the mirror.
Yeah.
Every time you go in the
Believe it,
bathroom, you look at the mirror, see something positive.
believe it or not, bro. That's how I do myself. I prep my when I get up in the rising.
Yeah,
I do a little prayer, workout. After
yeah,
that, I start telling myself what I am, who I am, what I'm gonna do.
yeah,
That's real. That's my routine every day.
yeah,
Every day. Jesse, you got to do this. You are this. You are a king. That's why I use king and queen a lot
yeah,
because I tell
yeah,
it to myself. Jesse,
yeah.
you are a king. You have strength. You do have
Mhm.
power. You do have the ability. You have this. You are. You will. You are. You will. You shall. You are. You
Yeah,
will. You shall. You are. You will. You shall.
yeah,
That's what it's
yeah,
about. You are. You
yeah,
will. You shall.
yeah. And I'll say this real. I think I done closed 10 times already, like the old preacher man. I'll say this last thing. One thing, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm done. I promise you, this is it. This. Wait, hold on a minute. One more thing. But man, yeah, past the church that we were going to, man, we haven't made it solid, but we've been going there. He said something. I forgot what scripture he was preached out of, but he talked. He said this last thing that he said that I remembered. He said, "I'm thinking about," so I began to think like, what am I thinking about? Because the Bible says, as a man's as a
So
man
is
is
he. So is he is.
yeah,
So is
exactly.
he. So is he is. Yeah.
Boom, there you go. And thoughts become thoughts becomes action, action become what is it? Thoughts become a word, word become action, action become a habit, and then that becomes you. You become and then that become habits form. So anyway, yeah. So I had to think about what am I thinking about? What thoughts am I thinking of
So,
myself? You know what I'm saying? So that's important to me. Mr. Walker, I know we got to go. God bless you, sir.
yeah, you got a couple of comments too on the line. Malik Bay, and he says he was quoting Psalms 84 and 11. And then he also puts in summary John 10 34 and 36 can be said to understand Psalms 82 and 6 and use it in specific ways according to 10:34-35 and Psalms 82 and 6. I said, "You're God's."
Hmm. Hey Malik, tell you what, man. See if you can DM one of us, man, or get with Mr. Walker. 816-599. Wasn't Mr. Walker the number there? 599-2793 studio number. Okay, so go ahead and Malik,
Mr.
bro. If
Walker,
you, Mr. Walker,
what's the number there?
Yeah.
studio number. What is that? 816-599. What is it?
Yeah, 816-599-6893.
6893. Yeah, Malik, man. If
816-599-6893.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Malik, if you can, hey,
he said
thank you
true.
for that comment.
It said true.
Yeah, thank you for that comment, brother, man. That's love, man, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, if you want to, man, call that number and leave your information. As Jesse and I were talking about, just really having a Zoom, just really having guys talk about just talk,
Yeah,
just
we're gonna
talk.
have a therapy session where we can
Yeah,
all be
just
therapeutical.
Yeah, we
yeah, be
appreciate
all
all the
therapeutical and
comments.
stuff. I might even where's my glasses at? But no, I thank God for this opportunity, man. I know God gave me street therapy. It definitely wasn't nothing that I came up with because
He says,
I'm not a therapist. You're on mute, Mr. Walker.
oh, all right, there you go. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. He closed out with saying love, peace, freedom, truth, justice, and equality for everybody.
100%,
Shalom, my brother.
100%, 100%, man. Appreciate that, brother Malik. Yeah, man. That's what it is. I mean, it's therapeutic for me. Like I said, I'm not a therapist. I wasn't a dope boy or whatever the case. But I know when I went through therapy, I know what it did for me. And it
Yes,
didn't
sir.
mean that I was crazy, and it didn't mean that I was. headed toward, the deep end. It just means that I needed some things through. And I think a lot of time as brothers don't mean that we crazy, we off the wall, we off the ricker, we about to smash into a wall. It just simply mean that, hey man, listen, I got some stuff I'm trying to process, man, and this it's stuck right here, and I need to get this out.
Hey
You
man,
know, and
anybody
if I
that's
and if I can talk to you and you can pull this out of me, then man, let's do it.
let's do it. And anybody that has been incarcerated, you have been through therapy classes because they have counselors and all that stuff. So don't be ashamed. Don't
Yeah,
be ashamed. Everybody needs some kind of information to help them to grow and go. To
yeah,
grow. Everybody, it don't matter. Me, Chris, Mr. Walk, all of us need some kind of information to keep us going.
yeah,
All of us.
100%. Yeah, my son's giving me my information right now. This little rascal over here. Yeah. All right, man. Listen, I think that's it, Jesse.
Yes,
I
sir.
think
I
that's it.
appreciate this opportunity, bro. And whenever you want to do them therapy sessions, just let me know.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna text you once we get off here because I'm gonna come down in November to
Okay.
check out the youth because
Yeah.
I'm always down for that. And I appreciate everybody go check out Neighborhood Message by Jesse V. It's an EP. It has 4 good tracks on there, and I dropped the album on my birthday last. Not on my birthday. That message, Neighborhood Message was for my birthday. Pedantically Chosen was last month, and that's
Yeah.
15 tracks. I got 15 tracks on one, and then I got uh, 4 tracks on the Neighborhood Message. Y'all just go check it out. Invade all of the social medias that I'm on, Jesse V, and everything. Jesse V,
Yeah.
everything. Get up, you gonna see my music and everything. But I
Hey,
appreciate
listen.
you, bro. Thank you,
Uh,
bro, for real, man. For always
my,
showing love, being there for me, man, and
yeah.
being my therapist, even though you
Yeah.
ain't there. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
listen. You may call me a therapist. I call you the pusher man. Cause Jesse, he will push you. I be like, listen, man. He's like, hold on, man. We got this one. Like, Jesse, slow down, man. Hold on. Listen,
Man,
man, my legs ain't that fast. No,
I
no.
need,
I
I need this
appreciate it.
therapy, man. This therapy is good for me, man.
Yeah.
It's good
No, I
for me.
appreciate it, man. And it helps me too, bro. It helps me too. It helps me for one to know that it's helping me, but it also helps me to know that it's helping you too, man. And even for the brother Malik to chime in, it helps me to know that that brother was like, yeah, I rock with that, man. I appreciate that, man. That really means a lot to me. It really, really does, man. Thank y'all for the people who are listening right now and tuned in, or people who will watch this in the future, man. Thank y'all so much. It's just stay locked in. Stay locked in to Street Therapy and also KUAW.org radio. And Mr. George Walker is the president and owner. And we gonna see y'all next time. God bless y'all. Street Therapy.
Hey,
Go.
before you go. Hey, do
Yep.
you got a jingle? Do you have a jingle?
No, I don't.
We about to work on that. I'm gonna have a
I,
jingle for you in two
see, that's what
weeks.
I'm talking about.
2 weeks, I'll have a jingle for you.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
I've
sir.
been
Love you.
and that's what I've been working on.
Thanks,
Yep,
Mr. Walker. Thanks.
yep, yep. All right, y'all be good.